Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the SeeThruEquity Winter MicroCap Investor Conference here in New York City 2015. I have with me Richard Schumacher. I call him Rick. Pressure BioSciences, Inc. Symbol is PBIO. It's a publicly traded company. Welcome back to SNNLive.
Well, thank you for having me, Shelley. It's always good to see you. Always good.
It's good to have you. You've got to give us an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. We are a development company developing products that are sold into the research market. We make instruments that have consumables, so it's a razor blade story. Our instruments are one of a kind. We have actually figured out how to harness pressure, high pressure. We have 24 patents in the area of turning pressure on and off. Everything in a cell, every living object has a pressure point. And what we've done is we've developed a system to allow research scientists, of which there's about 500,000 around the world, to put the samples they're studying under pressure and to manipulate the samples with pressure so that they're able to make reactions go faster or slower. They're able to open up and kill things very quickly in things that they really couldn't do before by not using pressure.
So give me an example of how it's used. In what field?
Well, in protein, we call it proteomics. It's the field of studying proteins. There's a lot of proteins that are related to different diseases. So when a scientist pulls out a protein from a cell, the scientist wants to study that protein. And to do that, they have to dissolve it. They have to digest it. They have to take that protein and turn it back into what we call peptides and amino acids. That's a process that generally takes 24 hours. If you do that under pressure, you can do it in under an hour. That means that we're speeding up research. That means we're giving them a reproducible way to do in an hour that often takes anywhere from 16 to 24 hours. It's like a pressure cooker. Our moms, our grandmoms used to cook food in a pressure cooker because it cooked faster. We can cook cells faster and make things happen faster. We speed up research.
So now, the way I see it, there's a million universities, not a million, but you know what I mean.
I wish there were, Shelley.
But there's a lot of them, let's be honest, right? There's a ton of them.
Yes.
There's biotech companies sprouting up like plants. You've got an enormous market out there. So how are you achieving your marketing to get into these labs? Because obviously it comes to a point in time where they know who you are, they know what you do, and they just order it. Am I correct?
That time is what we're looking forward to, and we do. We're working towards that. We believe that there are about 80,000 labs around the world that can use our product. 80,000 labs. Right now we have about 150 labs, so we have a ways to go. However, we're changing a paradigm that's existed for decades. I'm a scientist. 20, 30 years ago when I was in a lab, when I wanted to open up a cell, I would beat it up. That's what scientists would do. We would beat it up. We'd spin it with little beads. We'd take homogenizers and homogenize and cut it up with blades. What we're doing is we treat the cell like a sponge. We squeeze it back and forth. We put it under pressure. We squeeze back and forth. And we can determine how many times to squeeze it, how long to squeeze it, and how hard to squeeze it. We can put that as a protocol into the computer. So going forward, scientists, instead of chopping up cells to get to the good stuff, they can squeeze things out. And there's over 100 papers, and that's the currency of the scientists, is the number of publications. There's over 100 publications that talk about our technology and how they can squeeze things out of cells, and how sometimes it can be better than the old-fashioned chopping it up and beating it up.
How do you get critical mass, and how do you take market share? And you know, I mean it. Yeah, you can tell me, you know, you need a marketing budget. I understand that, but reality speaking,
I need a marketing budget, Shelley. and
you know
a sales budget. No. Look, here's our plan, and we think it's a very solid plan. Our system sits in front of other companies' systems. We don't stand alone. So we don't compete with all these other companies. We sit in front, and they put the sample in our system first. We prepare it better than what we think is out there, and then it goes into the downstream system. So our plan is this. Once we have the systems that we believe will fulfill the requirements of the downstream companies, we were going to go to them. Well, I got a great announcement. We said last year, when you and I spoke about 6 months ago, that we had developed a new system, a new pressure system that we were going to bring out to the market. And we started showing it last June. We put it in 3 places in November and December. And in 10 weeks, we got our first purchase order. Yesterday, we got our first purchase order. In only 10 weeks, we had a major biotech company buy the new system. This is the type of system that we believe will have the companies that are downstream from us with all of these, what we call analytical systems that read them. They need us up front, but our system up to now has been very manual. The new system that we just got the first purchase order on yesterday, that we spent 4 years building, that system is now available for sale. The first sale was yesterday, and we think at this point now we go back to those same companies that have the downstream instruments and work out a co-marketing, co-distribution deal. That's our plan.
Guess what?
What?
That really makes sense to me.
Thank you.
It really does. With that said, right, what do you think 2015 and 16 looks like?
Well, you know, I can, as a public company, I can only say so much, but I have given guidance. Our sales were up about 50% last year, and that's with only one person in sales and 10 people total in the company. Our plan this year is to grow our sales and marketing. We've already made that. We just raised almost $1 million in December. We said part of the money, and we already have advertisements out to bring in some marketing people, a marketing person. So we feel like the 50% increase in sales last year is just a starting point for what we're going to have this year. We believe that we're going to have a terrific year. It's kind of interesting in that our stock, which has been kind of mired in the mud recently, is seems to be inversely proportional to how well we're doing. So we're doing extremely well. We really have a lot of faith that this is going to be a terrific year for the company, and the stock hasn't shown its life yet. So, you know, it's something I appreciate the opportunity to tell people about it, so hopefully they'll look at it.
For more information, let's get the website out there for the folks to take a look.
Yes, it's pressurebiosciences.com, pressurebiosciences.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Schumacher, the head of Pressure BioSciences, Inc. It's a publicly traded company. The symbol is PBIO. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive. We're at the SeeThruEquity Winter MicroCap Conference right here in New York City, 2015. Rick,
always a pleasure.
Always.
Thank you.